Hey guys, we're Living in Fiction, Fantasy Football Podcast. As always, I'm Fernie. I got with me Art. I got with me Dan. Really quick, if you guys are listening to our podcast to hear about our fantasy, guys, thank you guys for tuning in, and listening to fantasy. But the first 20 minutes of the show, we're going to talk about some stuff that's been going on this week. Art, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, we all thought, we listened to a lot of things that are going on this past weekend, especially after the president came out and spoke out against the protests that have been going on in the NFL. So we wanted to take the time, give our own perspective on that. So if you've had enough of that discussion, by all means, just fast forward about 20 minutes. We'll get into all the fantasy stuff. If you want to hear about it, just go ahead and keep on listening.
All right, that's our little disclaimer. Thanks, guys.
Everybody hold on to your butts.
What's up, guys? God, you guys are the worst. It's going to be a long day.
It's going to be fun.
Yes.
You know what? That is a catchy tune.
Dude, again.
One catchy tune.
To Greg from Time and Distance and all the guys from Time and Distance, thank you for letting us use that song.
Thank you, guys.
I think it's only available on Bandcamp, but that whole album's really good. You should check it out.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I think it's called Gravity.
We are Living in Fiction, Fantasy Football Podcast. With me, as always, is my buddy Diane to my left.
Hello there.
And to my right, I got my buddy Arthur.
What's up?
As always, I'm Fernie. What's going on, guys? This week was interesting, right?
A lot of crazy stuff going on this week.
Well, first of all, the upsets this weekend were...
It was crazy. And the potential upsets. Mm-hmm. Patriots almost lost. Bengals almost won.
Patriots. Call a timeout. Call a timeout. Oh.
Falcons should have lost. That was a close one.
Very close.
Yeah.
And then if it wasn't for the rookie landing that 61-yarder, I mean, who knows what would have happened in overtime.
Carried him off the field.
Man.
It's awesome.
Did you see the video with his parents?
No, I didn't see that.
There's someone got a video. They were sitting next to his parents. So you see the kick go up, and then everybody in that area goes nuts. And like the mom's clapping and jumping, and the dad just starts crying.
Oh.
It got a little dusty.
Well, he hit it 61.
Woo. God. After missing one earlier in that game.
Yeah. Good games this week. So just to give you guys a quick update, we tied on all our predictions.
7. We only got 7 out of 16.
7 out of 16. And we tied each other.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that dude on there that's gotten like all of them right but one?
Are you serious?
Who does he think he is? How do you pick that?
There was no way you were going to get that all week.
No way.
Not without Grace Sports Almanac. And if you haven't seen Back to the Future 2 and don't know what I'm talking about, go rent Back to the Future 2.
All of them. Yeah. Go buy them. They come out like a trilogy package now.
Amazing.
Just buy them.
Just buy them.
Even though the third one kind of sucks, it's still worth watching.
I like the third one.
I don't hate it.
The third one.
Oh, yeah. And I don't want to give away too much, but I don't want to give away too much.
What, about the third one?
Yeah, the third one. I mean, he puts the metal plate to stop the bullet.
Oh, man. Don't say that.
You don't know what I'm talking. They don't know what no one's ever seen it. And everyone's seen it. I don't know what I'm talking.
I was on vacation with my brothers-in-law in Washington, D.C., and everywhere we went, in D.C., in Philadelphia, in New York, you know that ZZ Top, when ZZ Top comes on and they're dancing. And that stupid song. Like every time we got out of the subway, I got to a point where I was like, guys, come on, stop it. Anyway, so that's the week.
It's a good one.
We kind of are gonna jump a little bit off topic. I feel like we have to bring it up. We kind of all agreed that we would talk about some things. So I'm gonna turn it over to Art, and I'll let Art introduce this brief introduction here.
Well, I know a lot of the podcasts that I listen to, and I mean everything after Saturday night when the president came out against those who have been protesting during the anthem, things have just gotten crazy.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about it. And I appreciate everyone taking the time to discuss it. And we wanted to do the same thing. I had posted something recently online. The first thing that I want to start off by saying is that, everyone's justified in the way that they're feeling.
On both sides.
On both sides. I think that's one time where you can say on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Where I get it. People love our troops and people love this country. It's a fantastic country. I think it's okay to say you love this country, but it thinks it has its flaws that could be improved. But even for myself on a personal level, I mean, anything that makes you feel uncomfortable or anything that upsets you, you want to do something to change it. So if for both sides, if you see someone that you perceive as disrespecting troops or disrespecting the country, you want that to change or you want that to stop. And on the other end, there are people explicitly saying why they're doing what they're doing. They're saying there are racial injustices that they're being perpetrated by people in law enforcement, and it may even go higher up into governmental agencies, and that nothing's being done, and they're trying to shed light on that.
I have to say, one of the things that I think I've realized over time, and especially in the last 2 years, since about 2015 this way, is... and even maybe earlier, 2014, when Black Lives Matter became a thing, one of the things that we've never really had to deal with in this part of our history, whereas maybe generations past, and I'm thinking maybe the 60s and thinking about that, is that when you are protesting something or when there is protest to be involved, it's only natural. It's natural to feel like protest is going to make you uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, if protest doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, maybe you might not be doing it right.
Right.
And that's the point of it, if you will. And I understand some people on the right and some people on the left, and they are justified in feeling the way that they do because of the culture that we've created of, a real patriotism that we've seen since 9/11. Because I don't remember being that gung-ho about the flag growing up. I remember growing up, the thing that everybody would be really upset about is the Pledge of Allegiance and under God, and then after that being able to pray in school.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember there being a time where you're dishonoring the flag or you're doing this besides flag burning. And I could kind of see where people would get all riled up about flag burning. But I really do, my personal opinion, I really do believe that the kneeling is, doing its job to some extent as far as bringing attention to the thing. There's a couple of things that are a couple of thoughts that I've had in the last couple of days as far as our history, and I am a nerd when it comes to this history stuff. And one of the things that that a lot of people have talked about is this right that we have, that the Declaration of Independence set up of being created equal and running with it. And what people don't understand, or not that they don't understand, but maybe it might get missed because when you look back at time, you tend to see it as a 2D as opposed to a 3D situation where you lump in the Declaration of Independence with the Constitution and not realize that those two documents, while they are establishing our country, one is a declaration of independence and a declaration of war, and the other is setting up a government. And they're written almost 10 years apart, close to 12 years apart. I believe it's 1776 when the Continental Congress met and declared independence. In 1789, I believe, is when they wrote the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And a lot of people don't understand that those documents were written with the time in mind, and it was a class system at the time. And it being a class system, that idea of all men are created equal with certain unalienable rights, that situation that Thomas Jefferson wrote, and what a lot of people don't understand about Thomas Jefferson is he was kind of the odd man out when he was chosen to write the Declaration. He was very well read and he was very well spoken, but he was the youngest guy in the committee to write the Declaration itself. And being the youngest guy, it's kind of like Art, Dan, and myself are in a room, and back in those days, age determined what you got to do and didn't do. And if you were older, like when you're a kid, you're older, you have less to do. When you're like the freshman in high school, you got to pick up everybody's like laundry when you're on the team or whatever. And it's kind of the same mentality with Thomas Jefferson, is that he was chosen to write the Declaration of Independence. And when he wrote it, he really did copy and paste from a lot of different sources, Magna Carta, I believe speeches of Cicero, to really, really embody that sense of decorum, because it really is a sense of decorum in declaring independence. If you ever sit and read it, you're like, oh my God, this thing is like very polite. Like they're basically telling the king to go stick something in his butt, basically.
Ooh, there it is.
And yeah, but they do it in such a nice way. But one of the things that we realize when we talk about that all men are created equal, that was written in a time where there was a class system. And when they said all men, they think, yeah, all men that are like me, that are slaveholders, that could have been British citizens. And they look at slaves, they looked at their slaves the way that they would look at today. We would look at a horse. You would never think to give your horse, and it sounds awful talking about it that way, but that's what they were thinking, is that they weren't thinking, oh, I'm not going to give my horse or my dog rights. Why would I do that? They don't. And that was the way of thinking. So fast forward to Dr. King in the 1960s. He, in a sense, ironically took back that equal idea from the Declaration. As a matter of fact, that's probably, and I've read several articles in the last couple of days, that's probably where we get the idea for being created under certain unalienable equal rights. We're all created equal. It really does come from Dr. King. And I heard a podcast the other day, one of the podcasts that I listened to, Pod Save America. Those guys were talking about that if you go back to the 1960s and read the polls of the people that were marching and how people felt about people marching on Washington, people were against it, much the same way that people are against this kneeling today. Right. And I'm not saying that it has that same kind of relevance. I don't want to bring any politics into this.
But it very well could.
Yeah, but it very well could. And that's what I think, I feel like being on both sides, I feel like it's necessary to understand where a lot of these founding documents come from and what the ideals were behind them. And maybe if we take time to understand some of that stuff, it gets easier to understand each other. I think that really is important, that people do understand and see what the history of the military was, and where George Washington set up certain things to honor our troops and honor those that volunteered, because back then it was a volunteer army, and where we get these traditions from and where they came from, the World War II, and where we got even more of those traditions, even more of that flag honor. So, and I'm sorry for the history lesson, but I did kind of want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think about, because, I think all three of us would skew more liberal,
Yeah.
and some of us super
I'm
liberal.
sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm super liberal, but, one thing that I thought was really interesting was, the Cowboys and the Cardinals, because they had an extra day to process everything since they played Monday night, they all decided what they wanted to do, and the Cowboys came out and linked arm to arm, and then knelt down before the flag came out, before the anthem was sung, and people still booed them. That they were literally just protesting by just kneeling down for a couple seconds and standing up, and we're still getting booed. And that's how quickly people have decided that they're not going to listen. And I've heard people ask, like, well, what's the connection between kneeling during the anthem and how is that going to stop racial injustices? And I would just make the same comparison. It's, well, how's wearing a pink ribbon going to stop breast cancer? It's not. But in that moment, when you see that color and you see that ribbon, it reminds you of what's going on, and allows you to remember that it's still a real big issue, and that there's some things that can be done to help prevent it, or to find resources to help it.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at Dr. King's "I Have a Dream" speech, it was given in March of '63. We did not have, as a country, real comprehensive laws for equal protection under the law for voting till almost 4 years later. I think it was 66 that they signed it, 67. Nah, don't quote me. It's kind of fuzzy right now, but it took some time, As far as the people of the time at that time were thinking, well, Dr. King gave a speech. It was a really great speech. He has a dream, but we ain't going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
So we don't know if this is going to later on bring some awareness to some of these things, as I'm sitting here watching Aaron Rodgers locking arm to arm with his teammates.
Yeah. I think it has brought awareness, though, and I think that, just for me, I don't follow as many, just political or sides and news sources as you guys do. But I know for me, I remember when Kaepernick started this, it had just come after a couple of those police shootings that a lot of people felt were...
Yeah. I mean, it started because the stats were something like 2 unarmed black men were killed every week for like the first few months of 2015, which was a rate 5 times higher than white men.
Yeah, and then I remember at that time, because I guess coming from where we come from in El Paso, I mean, you throw a rock and it's like I'll hit a family member that's either in the military or is a police officer or border patrol, and I've had many conversations with them where they'll tell us, it's just one of those things where if you feel you're unsafe at a certain moment, you almost don't even see color, you don't see much, you see, a figure, you see a gun, you see something. But I think since then, as far as the awareness goes, now that when I'm watching the news and I see a report where somebody's been shot and killed by a police officer, and now when you hear, they didn't have their body cam turned on, it's one of those things now where it's kind of like, okay, well, and I get it. I can't even imagine this situation being an officer, but whether it's somebody that was black or white that was shot and killed by an officer, you do kind of now expect like, okay, well, maybe we should have this thing that protects them in any kind of way where maybe that body cam should be on, kind of thing. So that way we can make sure.
And if you speak to a lot of the players, a lot of things that they're asking for is actually more resources for police officers. That way they can go through better training and have better equipment and things to use that would better both sides.
Absolutely. And when that thing happened in Dallas, that was awful. That protester had killed those cops in Dallas, and after that, all those people joined the force. And I think that's one of those things where there's a right way to protest. Obviously, there's a terribly wrong way to protest. But as far as the officers go, more resources to them, more numbers, I think would help out in that kind of situation.
Right.
I do believe that there's a level of education that both sides can benefit from. I do know that as liberal as I may be, I do know that I've had time to talk to people in law enforcement, and there is a level of their culture that I don't understand simply because I don't live it.
Right.
And maybe that might be something instead of, and I'm not saying that not all of them are doing it, but instead of sitting in a truck or a car and saying, this is why you don't do all these things, it's really seeing the inside of the job. It is a tough job. And
absolutely.
I didn't volunteer for the military. My brother did. Yeah. And that's a huge sacrifice that I am forever grateful. And anyone that sacrifices for our country is, in my eyes, there's no better thing, because the things that they have to sacrifice is nothing in comparison to whatever I've done in my life. So I think there should be a level of research and education in understanding that side of the world as well, really getting in their shoes, if you will.
And my final suggestion would be, no matter what side you're on, I think it's so important to listen. I think oftentimes, especially with how heated politics have become. We get in the habit of listening, not to understand, but because we want to like make notes.
Poke
So
holes.
and okay, you said this. Well, now I'm going to tear it down once you stop talking. And we lose sight of the possibility of learning about other people and learning what the other person is really trying to say.
We all just want to get along, guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
Peace and love.
Peace
All
and
around.
love. Peace and love.
All right.
So let's get into the news.
Let's do it.
Football.
Let's talk some football. Let's talk some Darren Sproles.
No.
Poor Darren Sroles.
Poor Darren Sproles.
No.
I mean, I don't know how much worse it could get on one play. Because he gets hit, and I'm like, oh man, he hit his hand real hard.
I thought it was his hand.
Right.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Broke his arm and tore his ACL on the same play.
Good.
He will have to. He already had surgery on his arm to fix it.
Yes.
And then he has to wait because you need your arm strong enough, obviously, if you're going to be on crutches to use it. And then he's going to get surgery for his ACL.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of people thought this was going to be his last season.
Yeah. He had said that he was thinking of.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people assume that it's going to be close to what Steve Smith did, where he said it was going to be his last season, but then he tore his Achilles or whatever. I forgot. That was that.
Achilles, yeah.
Came back for one more year, and then that was it. He wanted to go out on his own terms. So
I
don't
hope
know.
he does.
I hope so too. I love watching Darren Sproles. I think
Oh, man.
he's like number 5 or 6 on all-purpose yards. Like if you consider like return yards and everything, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, I saw that. He's just a great player to watch. Great for the NFL.
Yeah.
Loved him when he was with the Saints.
They've been looking for someone just like him ever since he left.
It's probably a tough role to fill.
Yeah, and in terms of what that means for the Eagles, I think they've already said that Wendell Smallwood would get more work. Sorry, it's Smallwood would get more work.
That's tough.
LeGarrette Blount, for the first time,
Looked
kind
like
of looked,
LeGarrette Blount, yeah.
but everybody kind of got decent run because even their rookie Corey Clement,
yeah.
he got close to I think 4 or 5 yards per carry. Wendell Smallwood had just as many yards as LeGarrette Blount. So I mean, it's a tough backfield to figure out. There's not anybody I really trust. But it's worth if somebody were to emerge. I mean, it's worth like if you don't want to spend too much if you have Fab, or if you just have room on your bench. It's not a bad idea to hold on to any of them just in case they emerge as the leader.
Little speculative add with Smallwood, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played well on Sunday.
Yeah.
And
they like him a lot.
That's what, and they said that he could fill the pass catching role.
Yeah.
Because Blunt,
Hey,
I don't know about it.
no way.
No.
All right, that's Darren Sproles. Let's move on. The Jets signed Travaris Cadet.
For me, that most likely means that Forte's out this week.
Yeah.
I know he's got turf toe, and from what I hear, turf toe is really painful. A lot of players, especially running backs, that have to use their feet a lot for cutting and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll end up missing 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if it's that severe, but if he misses time, I mean, this week's tough. I mean, Jaguars, they're no joke on defense. But if Powell even emerges a little bit as like an all-purpose back, I mean, he could have a really solid few weeks.
Yeah.
I know everyone's been waiting for him to emerge as that the main back there, and this could be his time.
He has this crazy stat line. I think, what was it? Phil Yates tweeted out where every time he started without Forte playing, he has like 12 carries, 100 yards, something like that.
And like 5 catches. Like he ends up with like 150 yards or 130 yards. I don't know if I expect that from him. The other reason I don't expect is I still really like Elijah McGuire. The thing that will hurt his ability to kind of get equal reps is he fumbled the ball against the Dolphins and they pulled him right away. But before that, he was averaging like 6 yards a carry. Damn. I really like him. I think that's mostly for like super deep leagues if you want to add him. But if you have Powell, I mean, there's no better week to use him than this one because he should be the main back.
Pretty cheap on DraftKings too.
Yeah.
Hey, how surprised were you guys that the Jets beat
I did not see that. I mean, I think in those eliminators, in the eliminator, I mean, I bet you a bunch of people got knocked out for choosing the Dolphins.
That's exactly why I hate Jay Cutler. You can't trust that guy, man. Just when you think.
I picked up the Dolphins D on something, and I was like, I threw my phone against the wall.
Hey, that's a good point. Maybe the Jets aren't a every week bet against, huh?
No way.
Yeah, they don't look that bad. Josh McCown doesn't look.
I mean, this
that
week, it's a toss up between the. We'll get to that game, but Jets and the Jaguars, that's a toss-up game.
I know.
Well, all right, let's move on. Seahawks injuries.
I mean, they're missing a ton. I mean, I didn't look at I didn't get a chance to look at the practice report this week, but
I'm rubbing arms.
Yeah, he's
I'm rubbing Dan's
me.
shoulder.
He
Sorry,
is.
buddy.
I mean,
To console me or to... It's been a stressful day.
It's been a stressful day.
I mean, Sherman missed practice, Earl Thomas missed practice, Jimmy Graham missed practice.
Baldwin again today.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, granted, they have a pretty easy matchup. However, the Seahawks offense does not look good. This past weekend was the first time that it looked decent, but that's because they were trying to play catch up. I mean, they were throwing it recklessly, trying to catch up.
God.
So, I mean, I would follow, the news, try to figure out like who's actually going to play and who's going to miss. I think my guess is they're all going to play. Now that we're getting into like the nitty gritty of the season, a lot of these guys are going to end up, missing weeks, or not missing weeks, but missing like they're going to take like a veteran day on a Wednesday. I mean, we still think of these guys as being young, but I think Sherman's probably 30, close to 30.
Maybe, yeah.
Earl Thomas, I know he almost thought about retiring at the end of last year. Came back for another year. Graham's dealt with a lot of injuries, so it's not out of the ordinary for these guys to take like a veteran day off.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's the Seahawks injuries. Let's talk about Andrew Luck. I've heard a lot of different things, but it looks like 6 to 8 weeks.
The Colts are one of the most mismanaged organizations in the NFL.
Heck is going on?
I mean, Evan Silva called it. They lied to their fans to make sure that people kept showing up.
That's
what
why?
it feels like.
Jeez.
They did almost the exact same thing with Peyton Manning. It seems like there was absolutely no reason for them to take him off the PUP list. I mean, his own doctor came out, someone, I guess, somehow convinced him to do an interview, and he said he would be surprised if he showed up anytime before November.
God.
Wow.
I mean...
And not just that, but I mean, if I was never a believer in drafting him and holding on to him, I could understand why people would. But we're seeing Cam Newton play absolutely terribly.
Yeah.
Coming off of shoulder surgery. And now Andrew Luck's not even getting any throwing time. I mean, he might be throwing now, but in terms of game speed throwing, I mean, if you're asking my advice, I see no problem dropping Andrew Luck.
Yeah. Absolutely. Plus, Jacoby Brissett, he's not terrible.
You know what? Yeah, I was about to say that. He is not terrible at all.
After that win, I mean, there could be some positives to letting that team grow a little bit.
Yeah.
Letting him grow as a backup.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's Andrew Luck. Let's move on. Mike.
Eupati.
Eupati returns to Cardinals practice.
Hey, man, can I use your ear patty? After a couple of these beers. I'm sorry, that was stupid, huh?
Dumb.
I'm sorry, that was dumb.
God. All right, let's talk about it.
Have some self-respect. Okay. He is a fantastic lineman. And you saw, I mean, Chris Johnson had absolutely no room to run against the Cowboys. And granted, the Cowboys' defense played out of their mind on Monday. But still, they usually run the ball a little bit better. I think that's really good news for Chris Johnson. They're still using him as like their primary back. I actually really like the way Andre Ellington looked on Monday.
That's what I was going to say. He looked good.
I mean, when he was his rookie year, he looked solid. I mean, he ended up getting hurt. But if they use him like Tariq Cohen or like Duke Johnson in PPR, I love Andre Ellington.
Yes, sir.
But Mike Iupati at least gives, for anyone that like grabbed Chris Johnson off the waiver wire, gives you a little bit more hope that he might have more success.
Okay.
All right. Vereen and Darkwa both missed New York Giants practice.
I would be very be aware of who's going to play. Vereen doesn't look likely, but I would just check check Roto World. They have a really good news app if you can check that out.
What is it? Roto World?
Roto World.
All right. I'm going to check that out because I have not.
And Orleans Darkwa had a rib or back injury, I believe. But if they both miss, I mean, They have Paul Perkins, who sucks. Downright, absolutely sucks.
Tell us how you really feel about Paul
I
Perkins.
mean, not as a human being. I'm sure he's a delightful young man.
Oh, if he sucks at football? Come on. Kidding.
I'll
suck
take
at football.
literally whoever
He sucks at football. He sucks at life.
whoever isn't Paul Perkins. I want a piece out of this. Like, if it's just him and the rookie, his name's Wayne Gallman. He is a small dude, kind of like Tariq Cohen. And when he got drafted, they said, follow Shane Vereen and do everything that he tells you. So
Nice.
I'll take my chances with the rookie if both of those guys are out. So
All
I'll
right.
just follow that along.
Just to talk about the Giants a little bit, how surprised are you guys that they're 0-3 and possibly going to be 0-4? Well, we'll talk about it, but I'm just absolutely
After
stunned.
that first game, I'm not surprised.
I was weary about them going into the season because of how bad Eli Manning looked last year. That's why I kind of shied away from Odell Beckham. I don't have him anywhere.
Really?
Now, granted, he's Odell Beckham. I mean, he put
Yeah.
together a game like last week, but
Yeah.
still.
All right, guys. That's the news. Let's move on. Week 3 games.
Week 4.
Week
Week
4.
four.
It
My
says
bad.
week
Whoa.
3 here.
Who wrote that?
Perdóname.
Hey,
Sorry, guys.
Get it right.
But week
sorry.
4 games.
Can you believe
Let's
this is
talk
our,
about-
like, 5th podcast?
Six.
already?
Six.
6? Jeez.
6. We've been doing this for 6 weeks, guys.
Wow.
We still don't have any listeners.
Except for you, Chrissy.
People probably turned us off at like 19, what would you say, 1788? It was 1787. When the
1787.
Declaration of
And they were like,
Independence was signed.
libtards. I don't listen to these fools.
No.
Off. Done.
Oh, that's Ty Montgomery walking off the field. Aaron Mother Jones.
You tap! You tap!
Which brings us to the week 4.
Is that him? No.
I didn't see it.
Who's that?
Marty B. Is that Marty B? I don't know who that is. No, it's Lance Kendricks.
Which brings us to week 4 games. that
Week
we're-
4!
We are watching the Bears and the Packers. Who takes this game, fellas?
Come on now.
Okay, yeah. I'm going with the Packs.
Fun fact, I'm going to see this exact game, but in Chicago, November 12th.
Nice.
12th?
12.
You better buy some jackets and
Yeah.
some of those feet
It'll be a
warmers.
little nipply. Nipply?
Anyway,
Nippy.
I got the Packers. We
Oh,
got
yeah, Packers.
Come on now,
It
Packers.
already started. I can't
Packers.
choose.
They're about
I
to score
can't
right
choose.
now.
I know I done messed up, so keep in mind that we picked the Packers.
Geronimo Allison.
Nope.
Pay attention.
Sorry.
Pay attention. All right. That's the Thursday night game that we're watching right now, and tomorrow morning you'll know who won, and you'll be like, "Ha, you guys are dumb if the Packers
Probably.
lost." Probably. So let's talk about these Sunday early games, and we've got that London game at 7:30. Which, you know what, I know there are a lot of people like 7:30. Who the hell gets up at that time? I get up at that time. You know why? Because I'm almost 40, and because I'm almost 40, I
Almost.
get up early now. Dude, it's right around the corner. It's like three months away, 4 months away.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be 40, y'all.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
That's great, though, man. They
yeah.
say 40 is the new 30.
it is. I'm telling you,
a
I don't
new
feel a day over
45.
21. You know what? Whatever, bro.
Ooh, Devontae Adams. For everyone that started Devontae Adams. Good,
Yeah, just
good
done
job.
scored.
Hey, happy birthday.
Fellas, let's talk about the Saints at the Dolphins. What do you guys think? How surprised were you that the Dolphins lost to the Jets last week? Good Lord.
It was pretty shocking because I mean they got a lot of offensive weapons on Miami, and there is no better bounce back spot for that whole offense.
Oh, dude.
I mean, the Saints have a defense that you put in quotes because it's not really a defense.
It's a defense.
Yeah,
it's just guys on the field at that point in time.
they're just
Just a bunch of guys on the field.
running around. I love all the Dolphins. I will
Everyone.
say there is one because I've had people ask me, "Hey, this guy wants to trade me this for this." I am very worried about Jay Ajayi's knee.
Yes.
I mean, granted, the Jets have a tough front seven, so I get why he couldn't get anything going on Sunday. But they keep talking about his knee. If he were to miss any time at all, I don't know who would take over because there's no one as good as Jay Ajayi on that team. I like Damian Williams as a power back. They would probably use him as a power back. Use Kenyon Drake as like the passing downs back, but neither one of them are good enough to be like the guy. But I would just be careful. There's some people that don't want to be like I don't want to be as exaggerative as saying like, oh, go trade him away. But I'm not trading for him anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm worried.
I feel the same.
But
I
it's a
don't
good-
own,
it's a good
own
matchup.
him anywhere. Yeah, but if I did, I would be worried.
Yeah. On the Saints side of the ball, I think Mr. Willie Snead's back, but I think they said they want to ease him into the offense.
Yeah.
But it's still a great matchup. The Dolphins haven't been playing very good defense at all.
Great for not Evan Ingram, Mark Ingram.
I was just going to say, Adrian Peterson's out with some sort of knee injury.
Yeah.
If he's out, I love Mark Ingram in this game.
Yeah.
I could see the Saints finally bouncing back, having a super solid game, and getting up ahead and using Mark Ingram to drain the clock.
And you know what? You got Drew Brees there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, and
okay.
shout out to your who is it? Your student who killed me last week. But I played Alvin Kamara against her, and if she didn't go off like she did, ridiculous,
Yeah.
I might have won. Mm-hmm. Kamara's not bad in PPR.
In PPR.
He did good.
Yeah.
So that being said, who you guys got?
I'm going to take...
Who did I pick? Where is this?
I'm going to take... Ay.
Oh yeah.
I'll take-
Is
I'm
right.
gonna
It's a
take-
toss
I'm
up.
going
Take
to
it.
take the Dolphins.
You gonna take the Dolphins?
I'll take the home team.
All right.
I mean, they're not really at home, though.
Yeah.
I am going to
Carolina.
pick Les Saints.
Yeah, whatever. I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
All right. Well, I'm going with the Saints. Let's move on. Dan just gave Art the thumbs down.
Yeah.
Like, you loser.
Whatever.
Loser. Let's move on. Panthers at Patriots. And I feel like this could be, even though the Patriots won, this could be more of a bounce back game for them. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I am all over the Patriots on this game.
Yeah.
That Panthers offense is broken. And Cam does not look right. I don't, given the way he's playing, it's hard for me to believe that Derek Anderson would be worse.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I've seen Derek Anderson play like he's the Case Keenum for the Panthers, and I think he could, there's certain situations where you need someone like him. Like, we saw him rush a little bit more last week, but I had really high hopes for Kelvin Benjamin. I even once Greg Olsen went down, I had really high hopes for Devin Funchess, but I mean everybody looks so bad because of him. I mean the only people I trust on the Panthers right now are Jonathan Stewart and maybe Christian McCaffrey if he's getting enough checkdowns.
Yeah.
Patriots, I mean, because the offense is playing so poorly, the defense is on the field a ton. Mm-hmm. Patriots at home against them, I mean, I love all the Patriots in this game.
Yes, sir.
Draft everybody.
I think if you had Gillisley on your bench, and maybe if you don't have much else, this might be a good week.
Yep.
Put him back in there. Oh! It's out! Fumblerooski!
I was just going to say
I didn't play the Packers defense.
I should have.
Should have.
Damn.
Thought about it.
So is Montgomery out?
He
got a chest thing.
He went in the back.
He's got a chest thing.
This is
All
gonna
right.
be Aaron Jones breakout game. All right.
Yeah. Panthers, Patriots. Who you guys got?
Oh, come on,
Come
Patriots.
on. That being said, though, we didn't talk about it. Cooks had his breakout game last week. Finally.
Yeah,
Love Cooks.
man.
And he's definitely, like I said, he is the high-priced Deshaun Jackson. Next
Yeah.
week, he might have 3 catches for 40 yards, and that's it.
Yeah.
But he could very well have a similar game as last week, 140 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Loved it.
I mean, Brady at 40, it's insane that he still has the touch on that deep ball.
So impressed with Tom Brady.
I need to do that TB12 vegan diet.
Man, I am
live to be 100.
impressed with Tom Brady. I cannot find this game here. Oh, there it is. Okay. I done picked the Patriots.
Yes.
I picked the Patriots.
Come on.
Let's move on. The Jaguars at the Jets.
Hey.
So, like I said, I like Powell.
Okay.
Especially if Forte's out, I don't like anybody else. Except sleeper tight end of the week, Austin Safarian Jenkins.
Dude, he looks like a different person.
And I mean, that was his first game, and there was a couple times where they took him out of the game because he was tired. Like there was one time where they tried to hit him for a touchdown, and it was kind of over his head, and he called himself out of the game, and you just saw him standing next to the coach heaving, oh my god,
Not in football shape.
yeah. No, but I think what's his name, Jalen Ramsey, second season in the league, and he is easily a top 5 corner.
Oh, man.
I mean, he is just a monster back there.
Yeah.
And him, AJ Abuye, I mean, they're going to completely neutralize the receivers for the Jets. and I think it's just going to leave everything open for Austin Fernie and
Yeah,
Jenkins.
for all of you people who are going to play Jermaine Curse, maybe.
Yeah,
Just kidding. I don't know, nobody.
I mean, he's had a really nice start to the season.
Yeah.
But not this week.
I don't think so. No.
The Jets have played, I mean, despite they've had up and down games. I mean, obviously, that awesome game this past weekend. But I wouldn't mind a little Alan Hearns, maybe some Marquise Lee.
You know who's going to have like 300 yards? This Fournette, I'm sure.
That, in terms of, we'll get to the stacks later, but I love Leonard Fournette in this game.
Man.
But that's it. And even if you're starting Powell, if we find out Forte's out and you're starting Powell, I would really temper your expectations. One, because of the matchup. But two, because, like I said, there's that rookie right behind him, Elijah McGuire.
It looks like the Packers are going to win this game.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
This looks monstrous.
Maybe.
This looks like bad news for Jordan Howard.
Ooh.
They're going to need that clock. Tariq
Cohen.
my man.
All right. So who do you guys got?
I'll take the Jags.
I'm going to
Yes,
take the
sir.
Jags. You got the Jags?
I mean, did you see what they did to Joe Flacco? That poor guy. Is he still in the NFL after that?
Yeah, he had a back injury, so Lord knows what he's going to play
my
like.
goodness.
Joe Flacco
But
got
yes,
benched.
the Jaguars for sure.
All right, let's move on. The Titans at the Texans. Who was impressed with the Texans last week?
Man.
Deshaun Watson looked solid. There were some passes he made where I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was so impressed.
His
with the
accuracy hasn't
Texans.
been great, but maybe there's two things that I noticed. One, Bruce Ellington was in that game, and two, they got their tight end back. At least one of them that he's been playing with, Ryan Griffin. Both of who I think are really good plays this week.
Yeah.
They were getting mostly Ryan Griffin
because
CJ Fedorowicz is still out. I think he's out for the season, isn't he? I don't
not
know,
too sure.
but he got a ton of targets, and because Will Fuller's back,
Will Fuller.
so he'll get right back into the slot. I think it'll take some time to get some chemistry with him. But I like Ryan Griffin a lot. On the Titan side of the ball, DeMarco Murray looked real healthy, even though they were making it sound like he wasn't healthy. I know a ton of people played Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
and then Derrick Henry got hurt. And I like Rashard Matthews a lot in this game. A lot of people forgot about Rashard Matthews, but with Corey Davis out, he's really emerged again as like the number one guy over there.
Are you holding on to Corey Davis?
I have been.
Me too.
I mean, he looked really good that first game. But I mean, I worry because with those hamstring injuries, they keep coming back. You see a lot of players that deal with the hamstring injuries that end up missing, like Arian Foster, remember?
Oh, don't miss that guy.
I'm worried.
But yeah, Rashard Matthews, use him while you can.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's doing all right.
Yeah, he's a great daily fantasy play too this week.
Yeah. I just traded for Hopkins, by the way, and I'm so excited.
Dude.
I didn't have him on any team.
Yeah.
All right, who you guys got?
Ooh, this is a close one.
This is a close one. I'm going to go with the Texans just because I liked what I saw last week.
I'm going to do the exact same.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
Oh,
Oh,
all
we
right.
agree on the Texans.
Hey, it's weird.
Hey,
I
that's-
thought we liked Marcus Mariota.
I do, but I mean, they're playing at home, coming off that win, or almost win. They're going to be upset.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from the Texans.
Yeah, me too.
I like what I'm seeing.
Me too.
All right, guys, let's move on. Steelers at Ravens. The Steelers.
Frustrating.
Just frustrating.
So they are leaving a game where they got beat by a team that is getting murdered, 7 minutes into this Thursday night game. And now they're going to Baltimore to face a Ravens team whose defense is solid
Yeah.
and just got embarrassed in London. I hate all the Steelers in this game.
Do you?
I do. I think it's a rough spot for them to play. And then with the Ravens, the only person I like is Ben Watson. I mean, there's no one else getting consistent enough targets. And even Ben Watson, the only reason why he had a decent game last week, it was garbage time and he caught a touchdown.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be a super low-scoring game. I mean, between the home road splits of Ben Roethlisberger, the fact that, I mean, if you look at their offense, I think, they haven't scored more than like 20 points in any game?
No, I think Le'Veon Bell, right, has barely found the end zone once last week.
Still hasn't broken 100 yards.
Jeez.
I just think, I think it's going to be super low-scoring.
If you have Lev Bell, what do you do?
I mean, he's Lev Bell. You roll him out there every week. I mean, they're going to have tough weeks. And I could be wrong, I mean, the Ravens aren't unstoppable. We saw what the Jaguars did to them.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be a tough matchup. I mean, Lev Bell's the type of player that his bad week is still possibly like 10, 12 points. Which there's some people like myself where I drafted Isaiah Crowell to be my solid RB2, and he's not even a solid flex play for most people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's Lev Bell. There's nothing you're going to do about it. I mean, I still say if you can get him for cheap, I'd get him. I've seen a lot of people that are trying to trade for Lev Bell. I think that's a great idea.
I like it. You're still rolling out with him, though, of course.
Yeah.
He's still your RB1.
And you're going to roll out Antonio Brown. I would like.
Oh, yeah.
I would say if you are between Martavis Bryant and someone with more upside, I'd probably go with someone else.
Yeah.
But I think Antonio Brown, I think he's in the best spot because Jimmy Smith hasn't been playing as good, particularly in man coverage. So that's it.
And despite Ben's struggles, Antonio Brown is still the second receiver so far in the league, just after Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
So the production is there. It's insane.
Yeah.
Who you guys got?
I'm going to go with the Ravens.
You know what? I think this is one of my special ones. I think the Steelers might do something. I picked them. I picked the Steelers.
I kind of agree with you. I feel like this is going to be a bounce back game for gay.
Whoa.
Game.
That's how you really feel about Ben.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bounce back game, especially for Ben Roethlisberger. So I want to go with the Steelers.
Too bad you're both wrong.
And I think in one league, I'm even just rolling the dice with Brian.
I'm so glad you said too bad you're both wrong because it brings us to this next game. So, judging by Art's reaction,
I mean, it was close. It was close.
Wait. Hold your horses. Wait. Let me get this in right now. I'm drinking Starbucks. What am I supposed to be drinking right now?
What are we supposed to be drinking? I got a surprise for you. We can talk while this is going on. It's just, this is your song.
Stand up. I'm about to get some chicken wings and watch the Bengals play. I'm about to get a couple drinks and watch the Bengals.
Do you think when this guy wrote this song or sang this, he thought they were going to be so bad that they are now?
That he's getting chicken wings because that makes you happy because you know they're going to lose.
Good night.
Anyway, okay. So I do owe
Who were they?
Yeah, it's no kidding. Where were they? I do owe you guys some smoothies. I'll get those to you next week.
Thanks, buddy.
Anyway,
that
was close.
To be fair, though, fair, that was close.
If you guys don't know who we're talking about the Bengals almost beating the Green Bay Packers. And I was watching the game with my buddy George, and we both were like, what is going on right now? Aaron Rodgers, what happened to you? Like, what is going on right now? What is happening? But you know what? At the end, he pulled it out.
Yeah.
Pulled it out and won. But I'll be honest with you, even though I had my bet, I was going for the Bengals. I kind of wanted the upset.
And it wasn't, knowing that game, it was a couple things. One, that's the type of game they kind of win. But also because I knew that Mike Daniels was going to be out. Mm-hmm. I knew Randall Cobb was going to be out. And that was the only reason why I thought there was even a remote chance that was going to happen. Oh, man,
that guy
this is ugly. No, he got knocked out. He needs to be taken out.
He did.
Yeah?
Anyways, I still don't trust the Bengals. There's a very good chance they could go to Cleveland and lose this game. The biggest difference maker for me, why I will still choose, and I'll kind of give it away who I'm choosing, why I will still choose the Bengals in this game is they're getting Mr. Devontae's perfect back.
Okay.
All right.
And their defense, I mean to what you were saying, that defense made Aaron Rodgers look like that.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
I mean, the reason why they played so poorly in the second half of that game is because Andy Dalton in the offense wasn't getting anything going. Yeah. So then you're leaving them on the field for extended periods of time.
They're getting winded.
They literally did not score in the second half.
They scored 3 points in the second half.
After 21 in the first?
And if their kicker had made the first field goal, it would have won.
What happened?
They just lost the ball again.
No, but it was like a weird kick.
Oh, no.
It was like this strange...
John Fox, you're fired.
Look.
No. Oh, no. It was a bad snap, and he kicked it. Oh, gosh.
Glennon?
What if the Bears are trying to get Glennon, like all the rest of the team is like, hey, this guy sucks.
Dude, does that count as a forward pass if he kicks it?
No, not at all. Anyways, so in this game though, in terms of fantasy players, love Joe Mixon in this game.
Yes.
Love AJ Green.
AJ Green came to play on Sunday.
Man.
I told you I was close. I was off by 1 touchdown. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Wow.
on the Browns, I don't like anybody.
No.
No. I think now with Vontaze Burfict back, they are solid at every position. I mean, they got a steal in like the 4th round with Carl Lawson. He had like 4 sacks against Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he was just blowing up that left side.
It looks
And
terrible
they have
and awesome.
their 4th string cornerback is the one that picked off Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's how deep they are at CB. But anyway,
Jeez.
I don't like any of the Browns. The sleeper I have for the Bengals also is Tyler Kroft because I don't know when the hell Tyler Effort's going to play again. So their tight end, I think you always start your tight ends against the Browns. So if you're super desperate or if you're looking for someone cheap on DraftKings, because we only play DraftKings, I like Tyler Kroft.
Yeah, I think the Jack Doyle thing was a little anomaly.
Yeah.
I think Tyler Kroft might have a good game.
Yeah.
Who we picking?
That's right.
Who we picking?
The Bengals.
Come on now.
I'm going to go get me some wings on Sunday because I'm picking the Bengals this week
Yeah, first win.
We're going to get it.
against the Browns.
First W. Actually, I hope they lose. God, I hope they lose. I want them to go like 0-16, fire the coach, fire Andy Dalton, draft Sam Darnold, turn it all around.
All right.
Sorry.
Fireball. I'm sorry. I got that song ready
I
for you
forgot.
guys.
I don't know which artist that is, but please don't sue us. Like
Please
we just
don't
played
sue
a
us.
little bit.
Just
Yeah,
a little
just
bit.
a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
So all three of us got the Bengals. Let's move on. Lions at the Vikings. Guys, who was looking at that Vikings game last week and going, why didn't I start Stephon Diggs?
He was on 4 of my benches.
Oh man.
I mean, I was worried. I'm still being a little bit hesitant because last year, I think through 3 weeks, he was like the wide receiver 2 or 3,
Yep.
and then
The
tapered
next-
off big time.
Yes, he did.
But when I'm watching this guy play, between his route running, his speed, I mean, he is getting so much separation away from his defenders. I mean, in the chart that I look at, it looks at how many fantasy points they get per reception, and it compares into how many fantasy points are allowed per reception against the DB.
Yeah.
Darius Slay is one of the best cover corners. He's emerged as one of the best cover corners in the league. Despite that, on the thing that I was looking at on my chart, Stephon Diggs still is rated like super high for this week. I'm still a little bit worried because Darius Slay has kind of held some people in check. He held Julio in check this past week. But, I mean,
Yeah.
but Julio, we're seeing now he might be missing this week with a back injury. But, I mean, Stephon Diggs looks like the man right now.
I think he showed you definitely don't. You'll regret it if you bench him. He's one of those guys. You know, you almost have to put him in the same category as, like, even though Odell Beckham's not 100%, you just will regret the day you bench Odell Beckham.
Absolutely.
And now it's with Diggs.
Now, he's like going to be an every week starter for me.
Yeah. Just don't. You
know,
don't want to be the guy.
I think it was dumb for a lot of us to say, "Oh, he did terrible with Case Keenum," when we all said Case Keenum found out a couple hours before the game that he was starting.
Yeah, how much better did he do this game?
Oh my gosh! I mean,
geez.
granted, he's
Like
not
night
going
and
to.
day.
I mean, we know Case Keenum. He's not going to do that every
were a
single
week
week. But yeah, that's right. But he's not going to do that every single week. But now that they know that Bradford's not doing that well, or whatever's going on with his knee, they're giving Case Keenum more first team reps. You start, and I love in daily. I love Adam Thielen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because if Slay's going to be all over Diggs, I love Thielen.
What other wide receiver duo right now?
I would not want anybody else.
Can you? Right?
I mean, I love Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant as
Me
like
too.
a combo, but they're not producing the way that these two guys are.
dude, this is an exciting team.
And Dalvin Cook,
Ugh.
love it.
Wow.
That being said,
On
well,
the
the Lions
on the
side,
Lions side?
Lions. Sorry, I was going to say Lions side. Golden Tate has a good matchup. I think Xavier Rhodes is going to end up being on Marvin Jones, who hasn't really done as well as we had hoped. So I like Golden Tate, and I love Kenny Golladay in daily.
Love Kenny Golladay. Hey, dude, I think we're researching the same stuff here.
I think so, my man.
I think we're on the
I
same
think you
page.
guys are sharing notes. That's what I think.
Maybe we are a little bit.
Do you guys like go off into a corner and talk about me?
We do. He
Yep.
comes to my house before you come, and then I just tell him, get out, Fernie's coming.
Yeah.
I hate you both. That being said, who do you guys got?
Vikings.
Unfortunately for the Lions, who probably desperately need a win,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Vikings.
I'm gonna go with the Vikes too. I think it's gonna be
This NFC North is
NFC North is
tough.
man.
Wow.
It's gonna come down to the wire in that NFC North. So I like that NFC North matchup. This brings us to the next game. Vatos.
I got a surprise for you.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You don't even know, man. Do you know this song?
No, I don't.
Do you know the name of it?
What are you? Oh my god.
Look, you guys haven't even heard my song yet, so don't. Before you start laughing. It's Prendele la Bella! I typed this in on YouTube, and this is the song that came out.
That's awesome. I love
Just
it.
wait, look, here it is, here it is. Wait, where is it, where is it, where is it, where is it?
Ay,
Let's talk about los vaqueros.
préndele la vela, bro.
Hey! You know what? I
Préndele
thought
la vela, bro.
I was quietly thinking it might have been an upset because Carson, he
You know
looked
what?
like the real deal.
The first 2 quarters, and then what happened?
Turn that garbage off.
I'm gonna keep it low, like just right underneath.
hate this
right-
music.
I know you do. I do. I was so excited. You know I'm gonna play this every week, right?
Oh, I know you are.
Oh, I love it. It's great. Guys, I'm going to tell you, I was so excited about that game. I loved the effort from Ezekiel Elliott. I loved the effort from Des Bryant.
my boy Des Bryant.
Des Bryant got a killer touchdown.
Dude.
I loved T-Will. T-Will caught some balls. And let me tell you, Bryce Butler.
Gosh darn, Bryce
I
Butler.
love Bryce Butler. I don't know why the
Bryce
hell they
What?
keep playing Terrence Williams
Why-
over him
right?
because he's so good.
Why is Terrence in front of him?
So stupid.
I think it's just a
I think
seniority thing.
I don't care, but I think it'll change this week
Yeah.
if they're not idiots.
So that's the Dallas Cowboys side of the ball. I'm just all about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
What about the Rams?
So there is this stat going around that the Rams have the highest percentage of high volume plays or high efficiency plays, something like that.
Yeah.
Dallas gives up the most.
Dude.
I mean, give me Goff. Give me Sammy Watkins.
I mean, Cooper Kupp even.
I mean, Robert Woods.
Man. We're not even mentioning Todd Gurley, who is
Well,
just going to destroy.
Todd Gurley was
Yeah.
on Thursday night.
I mean, they are using him for running, receiving. I mean, he looks solid.
So
Man, if Carson Palmer's old ass didn't just go to sleep in the fourth quarter, I was super worried for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because of their defense, man. You know,
yeah,
that's-
I know, but you know what? The one shining star. Do you like what I did there?
Yeah,
the
okay,
one
okay.
shining star
Good
on
against
that
Cowboys.
defense is DeMarcus Lawrence.
dude.
He was ruining people.
He was
Man.
just
He was taking guys out,
DeMarcus Lawrence.
giving them wedgies, taking the lunch money, and then stealing their girlfriends.
He
It's
like,
like
took a year off of Carson's life. He's like,
Yeah.
he took it from him.
At
Taco
least-
Charlton, who DeMarcus Lawrence, dude. But anyway, I just to talk about the Rams a little bit. I went to get my weekly beating with Brian this week on Monday, and he was like, "Dude, I listened to the pod, man. It was good, but man, why you guys don't talk about Todd Gurley enough?"
this week.
Well, we're going to talk about Todd Gurley, and I'm scared of Todd Gurley.
I think this could.
Yeah.
This is crazy because you never think about it with the Rams. This could be the highest scoring game of the week.
Yes.
I mean, they could each put up 35 points on each other.
Yeah,
Easily.
easy. Yeah.
I love everybody in this matchup.
Everyone, even Dez. I know a lot of people worried about Dez's matchup with who is the corner that's going to be on him.
Hold on.
Anyways, while you're thinking of it,
Well, I'm thinking of it. Hold on.
Dez is just continuing to produce, and he's missing a lot of his targets. Like I think he's being targeted the most in the red zone, right?
Right.
As of last week,
Right.
But dude, he gets that one catch, carries like 20 people into the end zone.
that was
Couldn't
that was a
believe that.
Gronk type
Oh
play,
my
man.
good! I love that guy.
I was like, he's down.
Trumaine
He's down.
Johnson.
Trumaine
That's
Johnson.
a tough
Okay.
matchup. But you saw what Dez could do.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I mean, he has out of everybody, he has the toughest matchup.
yeah.
The difference maker on both sides. So one, like you just said, DeMarcus Lawrence,
God.
Aaron, the man, Donald on the Rams.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a
This
fun
is
gonna be a
game.
fun
I
game.
am
It is.
excited.
And I'm kind of jealous of Brian and Josie. They're going to be watching that game live there.
Oh,
in
man.
Dallas.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah.
So guys, have fun for me. But
So he's going to watch the Rams beat the Cowboys.
¿sabes qué, bro? I got the Dallas Cowboys. Puro Dallas Cowboys ride or die ese.
Look, don't be mad. I'm picking the Rams.
You two.
This is my first upset of the week. This one is my first.
You two are going to be eating your words.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I do. How about that?
All right.
Jared Goff is gonna take off. Take it all off.
Marcus Lawrence is going to make his day awful. Anyway, all right. That's the Rams and the Cowboys. Let's move on. The Bills at the Falcons. How disappointed are you guys in the Falcons?
Why?
I mean,
I didn't see it. I don't know.
I think what you mean is they don't look like the.
Yeah,
the-
that's what I mean. Like,
I mean, Darius Slay took out Julio Jones, and ever since Shanahan left, they are not as good at getting the ball to Sanu and Gabriel and Hooper like they did last year.
yeah, that's. I just don't. It doesn't feel good to me.
Like the almost beating the Patriots. Falcons.
This
Yeah,
is nuts. This is my upset of the week. I think the Bills are going to win this game.
I do too. I picked them too.
I mean,
Man, what the heck?
so there's a couple things, right? So like a lot of people have been surprised that Sean McCoy started off really solid in week one and then kind of tapered off a little bit. He was going to get some really solid defenses.
Yeah.
Now he's getting the 31st ranked team against running backs.
Dude.
In daily, he is my go-to everywhere.
Yes, sir. He has been.
And the Bills have yet to allow a passing touchdown.
Isn't that crazy? I think
Now, granted,
that'll change this week.
Yeah, I definitely think that's
yeah.
true. However, I mean, if they're missing Julio,
I think it just came out that he's going to play.
I think he'll play
he-
too. But I'm just saying, there is a chance that these Bills are going to beat the Falcons. The big difference for me is they're playing at home, so that's the only
Yeah.
thing that gives me a little pause.
In a league, I straight up dropped Cam Newton for Tyrod Taylor, who I'm going to play this week. And I think Tyrod might have a great game. Matthew Berry keeps throwing out, or is it Field Yates keeps throwing out that stat where he's always finished top 10, or it's top 12 or something like that since
Yeah.
he's been in the league.
Yeah, I mean, everyone that's going against the Falcons is putting up points.
Yeah.
I actually like the Bills' defense a little bit. That's crazy. I know it's a super high-scoring offense, but we'll get to the stacks later. But I like the Bills' defense. If you're feeling absolutely insane.
That being said, of course you're playing Devonta Freeman.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
Matt Ryan.
You're playing.
Julio.
You're playing all your starters in this game.
Yeah.
but
But
it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's going to be a much more low-scoring game than people
like, I
think.
feel there should be a drop there. I like big butts in a can, not like.
just like for a big but I
But-
like that team, but
and then you just go.
okay, all right. Let me.
We're going to get
Arthur
sued.
doesn't like this.
We're going to get sued.
We're not gonna get sued.
We're not gonna get sued.
There are big podcasts that do not play music for this very reason.
Well-
we're talking about like Adam Carolla show will not play music. Well,
I
they
understand
do,
that,
but a
but-
lot of like NFL Network won't do it.
Well, we're not out, Adam Carolla.
Oh,
right,
man,
well,
because I got another song lined up, and
Well, I mean, we
think
got
you're gonna- I
to
think
do
you-
it now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, we could do it while nobody's listening to us. Nobody's gonna telling us.
there we go.
There it is. All right. So, who do you guys got?
I said I'm going to be
You're gonna be
crazy.
crazy.
I'm going to pick the Bills.
Second upset of the week.
So
Bills
you're
over
gonna go with the
Falcons.
Bills. I'm
Yes.
going with the Falcons because I'm smart and you two are dumb.
Cool.
That's the morning games, guys. Sunday afternoon. Let's talk about that first game. Eagles at the Chargers,
Love
guys.
this game.
Yes.
I do love this game too.
So Jason Verrett is out for the season. Poor guy. Second season ended super short. That said, neither of these teams, I mean, I think the best cornerback between all three of them is Casey Hayward, who's really solid. But outside of that, it's going to be a super high. I mean, this is going to challenge the Rams Cowboys for high scoring game of the week.
I kind of want to surprise you guys with this a little bit.
Ooh.
So,
What is this?
we talked about Queso's Corner a little bit.
Oh.
And we never took it off. And so I just wanted to introduce you guys to a new little segment I want to do. And it's going to get a little cheesy in here because that's what Queso's all about. So I want to talk to you, Keenan Allen, for a little bit. Keenan, are you a magician? Because whenever I look at you, everyone else disappears. Everyone, baby. You are Queso's Corner. Play of the week, baby.
Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen.
Dude!
I love Keenan Allen this week.
Oh my God! I think I fell in love with Queso's Corner.
Dude.
Ooh, there are tears coming down my face.
But dude, who's on the Philadelphia? Nobody.
It's going to be touchdown after touchdown in this game.
You get a touchdown, and you get a
if Casey Hayward's going to be on Alshon, I love Torrey Smith. I love Zach Ertz.
I love me some Zach Ertz.
Nelson Aguilar.
The terrible Giants combined for I had this ready combined for 62 fantasy football points last week against the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's an insane amount of points.
I mean, they traded for Ronald Darby, and he's out now for the rest of the year, and they just don't have anything else behind him.
No,
I think they're the team that has. I think his name's Patty Mills or something like that. And I mean, he's getting targeted. I think he's been targeted 40 times. The next person behind him is 30 in the entire league because everyone knows he sucks.
poor guy. But I mean, if you look,
my respect to the Mills family.
yeah, of course. Washington Redskins week 1, 20 points to wide receivers. Week 2, 18 points to Kansas City. I mean, Keenan Allen,
Tyrell the Gazelle Williams. You're starting everybody in this game.
Everybody. If you don't have any of those dudes, you don't have anybody. Even throwing a dart out there, Travis Benjamin might go off.
Yeah, huh? I am worried about LeGarrette Blount because this is not a LeGarrette Blount type game.
No.
Whoever's going to be their receiving back, I think it might be Wendell Smallwood. I mean, it's a good spot to play him in your flex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm terrified of this Eagles team, guys.
They're good.
They are so good.
If that guy hadn't torn his ACL or whatever, they'd be the favorites to win the division.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just... and Carson Wentz looks actually pretty good.
He looks
like
awesome.
He's
Love
settling into his position.
He might throw for 5 touchdowns this game. Just to be... I see them trying to throw from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Just... bleh.
I love it.
Who do you guys got?
I want to give the Chargers the win, man. I really do. But this is tough. They're playing at home. So I'm going to give it to the Chargers.
Gots to go with the Chargers.
You're going with the Chargers?
I'm going with the Chargers, man. I think...
Phillip Rivers doing it for
That's
you,
it.
Queso?
Oh, yeah. You see how upset that dude gets when he loses? He's got to win one. It's got to be this one. It has to be this one.
I'm going with the Eagles. Screw you both.
Whoa!
All right.
Screw us. You're the one that had to pick the Eagles as a Cowboys
I know.
fan.
God damn it. Let's move on. 49ers at the Cardinals. This is a good bounce back game for the Cardinals, right? Right?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, really good bounce back spot.
Yeah.
The 49ers defense does not look good at all. Although I'd check because I think Reuben Foster just started practicing. Before that guy went out, he was murdering people. Between him and Solomon Thomas, they're 2 first-round picks. Whew. But their cornerbacks suck, so it's a really good spot. In terms of when I'm looking at all my stats, Fitz, Jaron Brown, and J.J. Nelson have the best matchup of like anybody, and they're all on the same team. I mean, there is no better spot for Carson Palmer and all the Cardinals wide receivers.
I love it, man.
And like I said, if Mikey Upati is back this week, I kind of like Chris Johnson.
All right.
On the 49ers side of the ball, he's questionable, but I'm pretty sure Carlos Hyde is going to play.
Yeah.
And he's been the Devontae Freeman of the Shanahan offense. I love Carlos Hyde.
He keeps looking better and better.
Every week.
Quicker. Every year, it just keeps getting
The
better.
big thing with him, obviously, is health.
Yeah.
And then in terms of their wide receivers, I think Garcon is going to end up getting shadowed by Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
I like Marquise Goodwin.
Yes, sir.
I like
And-
Marquise Goodwin.
I'm forgetting his first name, but Taylor.
Wait, no, that's different team. That's different team.
But I'm forgetting him. Hold on.
Isn't it Jay?
Hold on.
Did you forget this already from last week? Were you that sleepy?
What is it?
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
I tried to get a drop of that, but we kept talking.
Trent Taylor.
That's why I said Trent. I knew it started with the T.
No, you didn't. So yeah, Trent Taylor. If you're super desperate, but he's definitely emerges like the number 3 in that offense. I like him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm picking the Cardinals.
I'm picking the Cardinals.
Come on now.
I'm picking the Cardinals.
All right.
Although I like Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be a good player. That being said, do the Giants get their first win against the Buccaneers?
No way. No way.
No,
I think
sir.
not.
No.
No.
I think the Buccaneers have a bounce back game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're at home. I mean, Mike Evans has another tough matchup against Janoris Jenkins. So I
Yeah.
love it's another Deshaun Jackson game for me. Mm-hmm. I love Deshaun Jackson this week. Also, it's the Giants, so I like Cameron Brate, although they are sharing a lot of time, him and O.J. Howard. This is the last game you can use Jacquizz Rodgers. I don't mind using him.
People leaving the Packers game?
I think it's a delayed game. Yeah.
Oh.
Weather.
Ah.
Well, now we get to pay attention, Dan. On the Giants side, again, running back, pay attention to see who's actually playing.
Who likes what Odell did?
I mean, in terms of scoring or in terms of his celebration?
You know, that was
It's
weird.
a little much.
A little bit.
I get what he's trying to say. I get the whole, like,
Yeah.
I'm like a
someone,
dog.
yeah, someone's calling you a son of a bitch. I get it.
Yeah.
But a little too much.
It's weird.
Bit too
really
far.
Could have put like the little ears.
Yeah,
up,
that
like,
would have been kind of cool.
you know, kind of thing.
But,
Did you just go rough?
Yeah, like a,
like a dog?
you know, like a little doggy.
What'd you do?
Like whoop, whoop.
Anyway.
Okay.
But, I mean, that's who he is. You know, he always goes nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You're talking about a guy that got in a fight
with like a kicking,
with a kicking
net.
net.
So, yeah.
Opposed to a kicking net.
Oh, yeah. But I love Sterling Shepard in this game.
Dude.
They are giving up tons of yards to guys in the slot, and that's where Sterling Shepard loves.
And you know what? I'm not even paying attention. I picked the Giants this game. Just because I saw what they did to the Eagles at the end there, and I thought, you know, if they could at least try to replicate that, or if that was creating some momentum, maybe Eli gets his first win here. Just maybe.
Negative.
Oh, okay. Well, this
okay,
would be a big
look,
upset, right?
Yeah, this would be a big upset, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I do kind of feel the same way you do.
Yeah, okay.
There's a piece of me that feels like the Giants could have a bounce back game. Like they kind of are looking at each other and going, okay,
Yeah.
we got to win, because if we don't win, we're out of NFC East contention. Like, they're done.
Yeah. And we obviously saw what worked.
Yeah.
And the Buccaneers defense has been just destroyed injury-wise. Poor guy.
That's true. That's true.
So, that being said, I'm going with the Buccaneers. I love you. buddy.
All right, I'll be alone on this one.
Ooh, there's another good game coming up.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Raiders at the Broncos.
I mean, everybody. Well, not everybody. On the Broncos, I love everybody.
Everybody.
That Oakland defense is trash.
Mm-hmm.
We thought after the first week, okay, you played pretty well against the Titans, but that was
Yeah.
the Titans kind of getting their feet under them. They have looked terrible ever since. They just made a really bad Washington team, who we all thought was really bad, look like the Patriots.
That looked
I
like
mean-
a college game.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, they were doing nothing because their defense was
know.
so bad. In terms of stacks, and I forgot to put it on here, but I love Trevor Siemian in this game. I love Emmanuel Sanders in this game.
yeah.
CJ Anderson. I would say Jared Cook in this game because
Yep.
Crabtree and Cooper, they're going to see a lot of Akeem Talib, Chris Harris.
Yeah. Crabtree's not even 100%. Yeah.
So, love Jared Cook. I think Jalen Richard left the game for a little bit, right? I secretly, if you are one of those people where like you spend all your money on DraftKings and you're like, I just got to find a super cheap running back, I like DeAndre Washington.
Oh,
They never use Marshawn Lynch in the pass game.
yeah.
And if Jalen Richard is not 100%, love DeAndre Washington.
Okay, there. Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah. And I mean, if you have Derek Carr, you probably don't have any better options, but they're literally like probably 5 better options on your waiver wire than Derek Carr this week.
Man, I don't know if they get it right this game. I'm picking the Broncos. This one,
I'm going to do it too.
You know.
Broncos.
unfortunately, because
yet,
I like the
man.
Raiders so much. I do like them. I just don't know if they could turn it around this week.
I don't know yet, man. You know what?
And Amari Cooper's got to do something about learning how to catch the dang ball.
Guys.
He's a wide receiver.
I think they put it together. I think I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think I'm just going to go on a limb.
Okay, I wouldn't judge you, man.
That limb's going to break and you'll fall and bust your butt open.
Yeah, nobody has to be right all the time. You know?
Nobody has
That's
to be
okay.
right.
Yeah.
What, you know what?
Just me and I.
That's how I skip rope. There's going to be some games here that I'm going to be right and you two are going to be
know.
wrong. So, and it's happened more often than not. So, how about that?
That's true.
I'm over here picking the Bills against the Falcons like a stupid idiot.
All right, guys. Those are our Sunday games. This is the part where if you know, like, have a Tio or Primo that has like a limousine service that needs ads.
There you go.
Guys,
Nice.
ads. You can do this.
You're jumping on a ship that's about to take off to Never Land, whatever that means.
Yeah,
off to
yeah.
Never-
And Trump just
Neverland.
waved the,
Yeah, that's right. The Jones Act. We are ready to ship your success.
anywhere,
Anywhere.
anywhere that needs us.
Anywhere that needs us. Guys, crowdandtowncreative.com. We've got the Living in Fiction, first of all, the Living in Fiction Fantasy Football Podcast tab. You can go in there. You can read Art's sleeper picks. You can follow us on Instagram. You can check out our videos. Guys, just take some time. Just go and look. And there are some exciting things coming from crowdandtowncreative.com. So, guys, go and check that out. We are going to take a break. It looks like this game is taking a break.
Yeah.
It looks like it's raining, cats and dogs out there, and we're just going to take a quick little break. We'll be back.
Yeah, football. I did it. Go Seahawks. Go Bengals. Go Cowboys.
Living
Living
in
in
fiction.
fiction.
Living in fiction.
Living in fiction.
What's going on, fellas? We're back.
Yeah.
Guys, let's talk some Sunday night. Sunday night, we got the Colts at them Seahawks.
Ooh, the Seahawks.
Yeah, the
It's
last.
Sunday night.
Oh my God.
Oh, my God.
Can I tell that story? So look, obviously this will be the last time I play this song because I don't want to get sued.
I'm telling them we're going to get sued.
But
They probably won't even let this air.
long story short, me, Roxanne, Art, Alicia, we went to Seattle one winter to go watch the Seahawks play and celebrate
New Year's.
New Year's Eve. And so we bought these tickets to this rock museum.
It's called the was it Experience Music Project?
Yes, yes.
EMP.
Awesome
It's a
place.
awesome museum. If you
Jimi
get a chance.
Hendrix thing?
Yeah,
Jimi
yeah, it's
Hendrix,
amazing.
Nirvana.
And they change. They have rotating exhibits. Awesome.
So
If
cool.
you love music, you need to go there.
And so there were like 3 floors, right? The bottom floor was just, I think, a bar. The middle floor, there was a live band playing the whole night, different live bands, and the bar.
But they were playing like the best cover band you could ever imagine.
And at that point in time, Art was working out with Brian, right?
I was doing spin classes with Brian, and this song, he loved doing this song, and it was a really good. It's like the choreography he had for this song was so good.
So, dude, if you could picture this, Fernie,
And
it's
I am
midnight.
MC Hammer.
Dude, God, obliterated. And it's like midnight.
Worse than my wedding?
Not that bad.
No,
Not
no,
that bad.
no, it wasn't. No, we didn't throw up that night.
No.
But dude, this song comes on, and Art has like a drink in it. We all have a drink in our hand, and literally, man, the floor was dry before this song came on. Afterwards, Art's jumping with his drink.
Oh my
He's
God.
singing. It's what you coming on. Anyways, this song reminds me of Seattle. My Seattle Seahawks gonna beat that cold ass
Okay.
this weekend.
All right.
All right. That's a segue.
So the Colts at the Seahawks. So seriously, if this was at Indianapolis, there was a small part of me that considered starting the Colts or choosing the Colts because of how bad
Yeah.
the Seahawks offense has been. I mean, it only took off this past week because they were playing from behind and trying to win. I'm still a little bit worried about that offense.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. And I think the only reason why I feel good about this game, of course, is because of the Colts.
Yeah. So love the Seahawks. I love Chris Carson
Okay.
and the Seahawks defense.
Yeah.
I think Vontae Davis is still going to miss this game, so I love all the Seahawks receiving options.
Yep.
And surprisingly, despite how good usually the Seahawks defense is against the run, they have not been very good this year. Frank Gore could be a nice flex play for people. And then on the other side of the ball, I mean, you're not starting anybody.
No TY?
I mean, he's one of those, again, I will say this, because it's Jacoby Brissett, the thing that helps out that offense even more is that the play will be over and he's running around because he's so athletic. So all of a sudden there's no play. Like, I think CBs are used to, like, okay, if you're going to run a slant route, this is usually how you're going to run it. But at a certain point, it's just a bunch of players running around trying to get open. That's why T.Y. Hilton had such a good game last week and why he potentially could still be a good start this week, but I would temper. He's not going to have a game like he had last week.
Yeah. I'm sure Richard Sherman will be
Yeah.
on him.
On him?
Probably on him.
On him.
On him. I'm sure Russell Wilson is going to find a way to score like 25 fantasy football points this weekend, too.
Yeah.
So you like Russell Wilson?
Love Russell Wilson.
Good. I mean, really good start. Although I will say, I think his name's John Simon. I think he's a defensive lineman from the Colts who's been playing really, really well. So I'm still iffy on the Colts, but I mean, there's no better spot than where they're at this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So why am I asking this dumb question?
I don't know.
But
Because you're treating us like fools.
I'm
Asking us
treating
this
you guys
question.
like fools. Why am I even asking this? Who you guys got?
You know.
So raise your glass.
All right, that's it. First, last, only time.
Yeah, because we're going to get sued by Pink.
Were you seriously like jumping up and
Dude,
down like a moron?
I mean, the way you picture like girls going to like a One Direction concert, I was going ham on this song.
where were you?
Fernie, I swear to God, because he's already, what, 6'2", 6'3"?
I'm like
How tall
6'1".
are you?
I'm 6'1".
Dude, he was jumping so high. I was like, I could have sworn he was 7 feet, dude. It was amazing.
Michael Jordan jumping.
He was so excited.
And he got a 10
he had
inch
his
vertical.
cup in his hand. I'm telling you, he's like waving his cup. Ice is flying.
Oh
his
my
straws flying.
Hold on real quick.
What?
Will you just turn that music down?
Sorry.
Got breaking news.
No.
Got breaking news. By the time you all read this tomorrow, you already know. Oh, my!
Oh, he didn't catch it.
All right, breaking news. Ty Montgomery broke his ribs.
Wow.
So, I am telling you, not just because I'm a homer, pick up Aaron Jones. God. There is no better opportunity for him to get. Jamal Williams does not look good. He's going to play just fine in this game, I'm sure, but it is only a matter of time before Aaron Jones takes that role. They will most likely bring someone up from the practice squad or sign somebody else, another veteran. But if he misses any significant amount of time, someone else has to emerge as a reliable option in that offense.
You missing like no. Gosh darn it. Hey.
All right. This thing is already gone way too long.
It's not really that long.
That long. All right. Well, everybody's got the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
Let's talk about the final game. Let's talk about that Monday night game. Washington Redskins, Kansas City Chiefs. Arthur, what you got?
I'm so excited.
I mean, Washington looked legit finally for the first time last week. I will say I'm worried a little bit about Tyreek Hill because he'll have Josh Norman. But it's Tyreek Hill. He's one of those guys at any point. He could take a run, a screen, whatever, all the way for a touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, you're starting the man, Kareem Hunt, no matter what.
The man.
But I love Travis Kelce in this game.
Yep.
I have a sneaky feeling, and I'm going, it was not completely on my own. I'm following Matt Harmon on this. This is a perfect spot. Oh my goodness, Jamal Williams just got hurt.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
my
it
God.
is Aaron Jones time. Anyway. All right. Anyway, this is a perfect bounce back spot or breakout spot for Terrell Pryor.
Yes, sir.
The Chiefs have Marcus Peters, who is a great man cover, but he always sticks to one side of the field. And that'll leave things open in the slot for Jamison Crowder and the left side for Terrell Pryor. So, especially in daily leagues, I love Terrell Pryor. I will say, if you've been, my guess is in your regular redraft leagues, you've probably found better options. But if you haven't, I think this could be a good spot for him. Monitor to see if Jordan Reed's going to play. If you haven't already picked up Vernon Davis and you have Jordan Reed, you got to find someone else to play. I would follow the news the next few days. If you have a better option based on how it's looking for Jordan Reed, I would play that other option.
Vernon Davis came out last week looking like a 20-year-old kid.
It's crazy. If you ever see him without his pads and without a shirt on, I mean, it'll embarrass you.
Hey.
All right, con Queso Corner next week. Okay.
Anyway.
Vernon Davis.
Anyway. So, yeah, that's it.
I love it.
I love it all.
And Kirk Cousins could have a good game, too. I like everybody in this game.
Yeah.
The only one I'm worried about a little bit, like I said, is Tyreek Hill.
All right, so who you guys got?
The Chiefs.
Let me check. I lost it.
Submit my picks.
Submit your picks. Meanwhile, while you guys are looking for that, I'm going to play this. Hold on. Wait, because of what's going on right now.
Now we're going to get sued by UTEP.
I love it.
Aaron Jones is going to play for the Green Bay Packers.
Aaron
Aaron Jones.
You guys are going to think that I'm crazy. And I did the math. I picked the Redskins to once again win. What is up with me and Kirk Cousins? This
what do you have a
secret
crush
love
on?
affair. Yeah.
Are you like that? Or you're like, yes, I do. I do like that.
I love it, Kirk.
I love it, guys.
Thank you. Keep it coming.
Oh.
I went too far. Too far.
Yeah.
I have Redskins 31, Chiefs 17. That's my tiebreaker.
I have Chiefs 27, Washington 24.
Ooh. What you got?
Chiefs 27, Washington 21.
So
who the heck is this?
Isn't it Ripkowski?
Man.
Of course it's Ripkowski.
Stupid Ripkowski.
They're at the 5-yard line.
That's true.
Of course.
There's no better spot for... let's see. Aaron Jones, rookie. Oh, gosh.
You see?
A bowling ball Ripkowski anyway.
But still, I'm sure Aaron Jones is probably
He's
the
going to
guy.
get some...
That's the guy you want.
Get you some Aaron Jones.
Okay,
all right.
submit your picks. Submitted them. All right, that's it for our Sunday games. Daniel,
Moving
James,
on.
what do you got?
Whoa, are you guys ready for the next segment? And of course, my volume's not all the way up. Of course. Here we go.
God.
Are you guys ready for the next segment?
You mind if I take a look? I'm actually a doctor.
Yeah, you said that several times last night, but really, you're just a dentist.
Did anyone stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night?
I'm a doctor, Cliff, not a mathematician.
I didn't spend 6 years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you very much.
Damn it, man, I'm a doctor, not a torpedo technician.
Doc?
I'm a doctor, not a tour guide. Figure it out yourself, okay? You're big boys.
What's up, Doc?
In case you didn't know, that was a drop for doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders. Before we go into doctor's orders, we just saw Aaron Jones is playing.
His first carry in a regular season game. He's about to murder these Bears. It's hunting season. Jones is going out and killing some bears.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Let's just watch.
No, hold on.
I know this is not good pod, but we don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Oh!
There you go. Boom! 5 yards.
Love it.
We've never been so excited for 5 yards in our whole lives.
They need to fire Tony Romo, hire the three of us.
That's it.
We can call this game.
Yeah, we can totally call this
We
game.
only know like 3 players. It's Aaron Jones.
Tony Romo ain't got us.
That's all. It's because of me screaming, Aaron Jones is going to f*** them up. All right,
let's go into doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders.
Our resident doctor, Dr. Aguirre, go.
Yeah, I sound real professional now. Okay, like I said, love Jared Goff this week. You can find him cheap on DraftKings. Someone who may have oh my goodness. Someone who may be a little bit cheaper because he was hurt, but I think is really good, Rob Kelly. It looks like he's on track to play this week. You can run on the Chiefs. Like I mentioned before, I love Kenny Golladay. I know he had like a really good breakout game week 1, hasn't done a whole lot since. But I really think this is a good bounce back spot for him. Like I said, my favorite tight end streamer this week is Austin Seferian-Jenkins. This is a really nice blow up spot for him. The other person I mentioned before is a Houston Texans tight end, Ryan Griffin. And then, of course, they're not much of a sleeper, but I love the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Jets.
Love it, man. I noticed you made a mistake here. You put Jared Goff instead of the Cowboys quarterback. Why didn't you put in? Why
would I do
Dak
that?
Prescott?
Why would I do that?
Oh, you probably think the Rams are going to win.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Dakota Prescott is going to beat both your asses.
I was like, who?
Give me some Dakota Prescott.
Jared Goff.
And if you're looking for,
I hope he breaks both of his legs.
That's not nice. That's not
hey,
nice.
wait.
I hope he breaks both.
But y'all don't say that.
God.
Okay.
But y'all don't say that.
And if you don't like Jared Goff, I also really like Trevor Siemian.
I would go with that more than I would Jared Goff because he's going to get his ass into him.
But, dude,
I don't care.
we're giving fantasy advice here. Not cowboy fan advice.
¿Sabes qué, bro?
Anyway.
¿Sabes qué, bro? Puros pinches cowboys.
Okay, so that's the doctor's orders for you.
All right, that's the doctor's orders. What's next?
What's next? Here we go.
Here we go.
Wrong.
Stacks on stacks on.
Stacks on stacks on. Stacks on stacks on. Stacks on stacks on. Stacks on stacks on.
Stacks on stacks on. Stack of them.
I was standing in front of Socorro High School today with some architects, and I get a text message from Dan who tells me, dude, you guys gotta listen to this. I'm so proud of it. It's the drop for stacks on stacks on stacks, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I'm laughing the way I'm laughing right now, tears coming down, and the architect guy was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you like getting a brain aneurysm? What is wrong? He's like, I was seriously crying. And he asked me, he's like, are you okay? I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Like, I couldn't explain to the guy what it was. Can you play it again? Because it's so good.
Stacks on.
Guys, I'm so proud of this.
Stacks on stacks on. Stacks on stacks on. Stacks on stacks on.
Stacks on stacks on. Stack of them.
So good.
I'm gonna keep working. I mean, there's a few more drops that I need to make for this podcast, but
That was.
I've been
love
working.
it. I love that.
Okay. All right.
Stacks on stacks of the week. Arthur.
All right, my favorite one is Smith and Kelsey.
Right.
I love Bradford or Keenum. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be Keenum. Keenum and Thielen and or Diggs, preferably Keenum and Thielen, because that'll make things real cheap for you in all the other positions.
Yeah.
I like Simeon and Sanders. I like Wentz and Ertz. I mean, that was pretty. I mean, a lot of people have been using that. I also like Wentz and Smith. Torrey Smith. He's kind of like Marquise Goodwin for them. Like, all it takes is one deep ball, and he throws at least two of them to Torrey Smith. So,
Yeah.
I like Wentz and Smith. Love, like I said, I'm all over Goff this week. Goff and Watkins. Love Dalton and Green again. Like I said, if you're feeling absolutely crazy, I like McCoy and the Bills defense.
All right.
I'm going back.
I don't think that's that crazy.
I'm telling you, man. I like, if they get even a remote lead on the Falcons, it'll be nothing but McCoy. I like Gillislee and the Patriots defense because, again, I haven't seen much out of Carolina, and as bad as the Pats defense is,
Yeah.
if they get up in that game, you know who's getting the ball.
I think this is the riskiest one, the Patriots defense.
Yeah.
But it could be out. I'm sure that their share is probably super low. I'm sure nobody's going to pick
No
the
one's
Patriots
going to have
defense.
them, and we saw how prone Cam is to interceptions now that he's not throwing very well.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. And then the easiest one, I mean, Fournette and the Jaguars defense.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Come on now.
And one of the other things, I don't have it necessarily as a stack, but one of the things a lot of people like doing. So, for example, when you have the Rams at the Cowboys and it's going to be a high-scoring game, you put in Watkins, you put in Des Bryant, because you know, in terms of if there's going to be a ton of fantasy points, you get the two people with the highest share of targets.
It's like a flip-flop stack.
Yeah,
It's called something. It's like the opposite.
Yeah.
I want to call it like the flapjack.
It's definitely not what it's called. But the other one on the other side,
I feel like a pile of flapjacks.
I like if you're feeling. So I know Patrick Peterson. There's a chance that he might not shadow Pierre Garçon. If he doesn't, I like Pierre Garçon and Larry Fitzgerald, and I like Torrey Smith and Keenan Allen.
Guys, you don't know nothing. Flapjack is going to pick up. Somebody's going to pick
It's already
that one up.
called something. I just heard Adam
but then they're
Levitan
gonna-
say it.
But you know what? They're going to hear this and they're
Yeah.
like, dude, let's call it that.
Flapjacks.
Flapjacks. Because it's like back and forth. Flip, flop, flapjacks. Say that fast 3 times.
Flapjacks.
You already did it.
All right.
Keenan Allen.
3 times, though.
I not 3 times. No.
So that's it. Stacks on stacks on stacks. Let's hear that drop one more time.
No.
guys. But people want to hear it.
Oh, you guys want to hear it? Oh, you guys want to hear it.
I
I'm
wanna
sorry.
hear it.
The people want to hear it.
The
Here we go.
people-
Stacks on stacks on.
Did you think that when you were saying that,
No,
like, it was going to turn into this?
no, not at all.
This is so fun for me to make.
Dude, it's gonna be like my new ringtone.
Stacks on stacks on stack of the week.
It's gonna be my ringtone.
I'm going to use it for like when you call me, it's going to be that. And people are going to be like, what is that? Guys, that is Living in Fiction Fantasy Football Podcast for week 4. Guys, as always, it has been an absolute pleasure
So fun.
being with you all here today.
Good luck to y'all in week 4.
Yes, good luck. And as always, www.crowdandtowncreative.com. You can look at all of our stuff. You can look at the Living in Fiction Fantasy Football Podcast website. Get your stacks on stacks on stacks and your sleepers. And that's about it. Guys, you guys have a good weekend. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
You'll hear from us next week.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. We'll see you guys later. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
You know what you should say? Because people heard you say, bad booty.
Bad booty.